Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Jerm here. Today, Doublelift woke up and chose violence. This man was going off on TSM, Regi, and just everything to do with TSM in his most recent live stream. So we just got to check this out and talk about it. So I was streaming yesterday over at twitch.tv/I_am_Jerm. First link in the description below. Go check it out. Maybe follow, sub, prime. That would be absolutely awesome. But and somebody sent me this clip while we were streaming, and they were like, hey, you got to watch this Doublelift on why he hates TSM. And we watched it, and it was honestly one of the craziest, most hilarious, spiciest clips I've ever seen. So I had to make a video about it. I had to show you guys. So we're just going to kind of watch it and react and kind of just digest everything that's going on, because there's a lot to break down here, a lot that he has to say.
Okay, actually, fuck it, man. We can just talk about offseason now. This queue is lasting so long. What do you guys want to know about my incredible offseason adventures? I'm just gonna set it straight though that I am most likely not gonna play. There's a very low chance. Like, don't get your hopes up at all. Like, the overall majority of teams I wouldn't even consider playing for because they're so shit. Like, I only want to play on a team that's actually set their sights on going to Worlds, winning LCS. It feels like half the teams in LCS are just fine to make it their goal to like make it to playoffs, or you know, it would be like a stretch for them to make Worlds. Like, it would be like such an incredible overachievement, because you know, part of it is just that it's like budget, it's the management, it's like the team culture. It just doesn't, every org is gonna outwardly say that they care about winning, but like doing what it takes to win is another story. Why would I consider playing? Well, it's not really my choice to.
So before he gets into all the TSM stuff, just kind of interesting how he does talk about how, you know, he is interested in coming back. It seems like a low opportunity. It seems like a very, very low chance of him actually being able to come back. He doesn't want to join any of the bottom teams. He doesn't want to join any of the, you know, bad teams, which isn't super, super surprising. Obviously, this video is called Why He Hates TSM, so you can cross TSM off that list as well, which really only gives him 4 opportunities: TL, EG, 100 Thieves, and Cloud9. 100 Thieves has FBI, TL has Hansama, so it really only gives him EG and Cloud9 as really the only 2 real possibilities, if he'd even consider either of those teams. So again, he says very, very low possibility. That is interesting, you know, kind of takes some shots at a bunch of LCS teams. But then here comes the spicy TSM stuff.
Stop playing. I actually never wanted to end my fucking career at going 0-6 at Worlds. The only reason why I stopped playing is because I got fucked by TSM. That's basically it. I thought I was gonna play for them. I thought we were gonna get Sword Art. Then they said like, actually it's gonna be like Palette and Palafox, and I was like, holy shit, this roster sounds bad. Regi asked me if I was so committed. I was like, no. And so he just said,
so that's actually kind of interesting. You know, obviously we saw the TSM lineup that they ended up getting was Power Beetle and Sword Art rather than Palafox and Palette. But you know, things could have been very, very different for TSM. It's actually interesting to, you know, peel back the curtain and see what was going on with TSM at last offseason, and just knowing that at one point the team we could have seen with TSM in 2021 could have been way, way different, obviously. And man, it was already a pretty rough season for TSM in general. Could you imagine if it was Palette and Palafox instead? That would have been probably tough to watch.
said, okay, well, I need like to make a decision right now for committed AD carry. So they went with Lost and signed him, and then I was like in a position where I'm either, there's just not, it's so late in the offseason, there's not many options. The other options was at that point to like go to EG, FlyQuest. Yeah, I mean, these teams, guys, it's not where you go to find success. That's it. It's not, you're not gonna go there and like have incredible success with the way that it's not last year. Sounds like you're being indecisive. Should have just played.
That's kind of funny. A couple funny things there, you know. Obviously, Regi came to him and was like, hey, we need you to make a decision. We need to get things going. Kind of sounds like what they did with Bjergsen a little bit this offseason. You know, I don't know if Bjergsen was ever going to actually return to TSM, but I know they did give Bjergsen like a deadline of, hey, you got to decide by this day or we're moving on. Obviously, Bjergsen, very, very different situation than Doublelift, but just funny that they kind of said both things to both of these guys, and they end up losing both of them. But also, he says, you know, he had the option to go to EG, and he didn't want to go to EG because it would have sucked. It's like, EG actually ended up being a pretty decent team. Impact, Sven Skaren, Jizuke could have had Doublelift and Ignar. That would have been decent. It's not like EG was super far away from making it to Worlds last year, especially if Doublelift believes in his own play. I feel like he's undervaluing or underselling, EG a little bit there. Maybe, his bad attitude and stuff's kind of showing. I don't know. Just kind of my thoughts and opinions.
But I don't think I should play in an environment that is not where everyone's goals are not aligned. That's what I'm looking for in this offseason, right? Like, I want to join a team where everyone has the same goal, the same vision, the same expectations. If you don't, it's never gonna work. Like, you want to feel like everyone's in the same boat, headed in the same direction, and have a lot of trust, have a lot of mutual respect for your team. Honestly, I fucking hate TSM mostly because of Andy. I actually remember this now. Yeah, Sword Art called me afterwards and said, "I'm coming to TSM. Are you sure?" Like he still wanted to play with me. I called Andy and told him, "Yeah, Sword Art still wants to play with me, and I would love to, continue to play for the org." And Andy literally said no because he's got too much of an ego. It's fucking so cringe.
That's a lot of bombs. He says he hates TSM. He says it's because of Reginald. He also says that Sword Art wanted to play with him last season and he was down to come back, and Reggie told him no. That's a lot of bangers right there. That's a lot of spiciness in just a couple of sentences. Obviously a lot of it is pretty self-explanatory. Doesn't need a whole lot of, breakdown or analysis or anything. But man, I can't believe he just got on Twitch and was just saying all this stuff.
I was on TSM last split. There's no doubt in my mind we would have made Worlds. Actually, I talked to Sword Art after...
I think that's interesting too, him saying if he was on TSM last year, they would have made Worlds. I actually totally believe that. I don't even, I'm not a huge Doublelift fan. I don't even think he was that good in 2020 or anything, but I do think he would have been an upgrade over Lost, and I do think that TSM was already one play from making it to Worlds in 2021. I think with Doublelift, they could have been a little bit better. They could have gotten the job done. And this whole timeline would be different. Potentially, Bjergsen would still be with TSM. If they had a little bit better season last year, if the future and outlook looked a little bit better for them, Doublelift would still have a spot. So many things could have gone different had Reggie decided to keep Doublelift and maybe made it to Worlds. Perks would have missed Worlds to Cloud9. All this craziness. I don't know. Crazy to hear a lot of this stuff.
I talked to him after spring, I think. I'm trying to remember this. I went and got hotpot with Sword Art, and I think it was between spring and summer split. It was around MSI, and the dude was literally saying that if me and Bjergsen were still playing, we would have 100% won. It's like just unbelievable decisions. I don't know. Every split I'm on TSM we win, and still get treated like that. It's just disgusting. It would be a personal pleasure of mine to see TSM never win anything again because of how shitty they treated the people who brought them everything. I don't even need to pray for it. They're just gonna make that happen themselves.
Peter.
What? We're trying to be honest here.
Lena in the background.
Oh yeah, I don't want to make Lost feel... Or I didn't want to make him feel like shit. He was playing. Nothing he did wrong. He's just a kid. He got put into a really tough situation. I'm not gonna fucking go out and tell Sword Art or tell the world that Sword Art would rather play with me in the middle of their fucking season. That's just disgusting behavior. But they're not playing together anymore. Just want to explain why I think that they are rolling quite hard the offseason. Yeah, I'm on TSM. We're in a mutually beneficial situation where I make them money and they make me money being on their network. I don't have to like them to have a mutually beneficial situation. But yeah,
and obviously that is a very, very crazy and hilarious ending to this whole situation that Doublelift is right now still under the TSM brand. He is streaming to the TSM, fan base, using the TSM sponsors, all that stuff, while saying all this stuff about the organization, while saying all of this stuff about Reggie. And I'm not surprised that Doublelift thought any of this. I think a lot of this is information we already knew. I am just very, very shocked and surprised, a little bit impressed, I guess, to actually hear him vocalizing a lot of these things. Obviously, people are going to question if you should be saying this stuff, whatever. But it's very entertaining, very spicy, very banger. Some of the stuff, he might be a little bit off on. Some of the stuff he might only be telling his half of the story, yada, yada, yada. But some of the stuff we know he is 100% spot on accurate about. TSM has obviously gotten a lot of criticism over the last couple of years. I think they have been a poorly managed org. I think they've made some terrible, terrible decisions. But crazy that Doublelift is coming out and saying all of this very, very publicly. He hates TSM. He hates Reggie. Nothing would make him happier than the org never finding success again. Man, obviously it's the middle of the offseason, a lot of crazy news and everything going on, but this is not one of the stories that I was prepared for. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Tell me, drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Who do you side with during this stuff? Do you side with Doublelift? Do you side with Regi? Who do you think's right? Who do you think's wrong? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then.